as the Minnesota Vikings figure out what's going on with their franchise right now, obviously, you know, they got a new head coach in Kevin O'Connell, new GM, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. There are players on this roster, you know, a lot like Wyatt Davis, you know, moving forward. You know, there's a lot of players that, other than Davis, that I think really deserve a shot with the Vikings, but none more so, in my opinion, than Kellen Mond. Now, this all comes as obviously one of the biggest rumors surrounding the Vikings right now is if they'll trade Kirk Cousins. And I got to be honest, I don't know if I see it. I really don't, because at the end of the day, you have got a chance to go to some point to make the playoffs. And I think Kirk Cousins gives you the best chance to do that. So with a new head coach and a new GM, I between the two, I think they really need to focus on, you know, obviously a lot of the other holes around the roster right now, obviously like corner. Still right guard, Wyatt Davis, put him in, please. But I think moving forward, they also need to keep in mind that Kellen Mond is a baller. I think we saw it a little bit at Texas A&M. I think we saw it during the preseason at times. And, you know, I think he only threw, 3 passes against the Packers. So, you know, I get a lot of the fans and a lot of, the franchise leaders. I get maybe some of their hesitation. But at the end of the day, it was 3 passes. Give the man a break. I think you really have to take a serious look at Kellen Mond before you draft a quarterback of the future. And I think you really need to look at back over his tape. You know, obviously, I think all Vikings fans are a little bit gun shy after the whole Christian Ponder thing. And I think you saw some similarities with Kellen Mond with his tendency to just tuck the football and run at times. But, you know, I also think if you could get this man a little bit of help and maybe also, I don't know, maybe play him with the ones during the preseason a little bit so that way maybe he gets a little bit of experience. I think you would see him do less tucking and more throwing because that offensive line, the second, third offensive line for the Vikings, not good. It's really not that good. So I feel like the Vikings really need to focus on what they have in Kellen Mond and make sure that they give him a chance, because the worst thing you can do to this young man is not just give him obviously give him a chance, but the worst thing you can do is you know, as a new franchise with a new franchise going in a new direction, I think you just need to give the man a chance. I think that's what it comes down to is, you know, obviously I think you're going to draft, you know, in the historic Vikings organization, they've had a lot of good quarterbacks, but none that I don't think we can actually call a true franchise quarterback that has brought this team a Super Bowl. And maybe Kellen Mond is it. Maybe he is. But I feel like we'll never know unless somebody puts the man in. And, you know, obviously there's going to be a lot of preseason games. There's going to be a lot of things going on during training camp and all that. But at the end of the day, right now he's an unknown. We don't know. He's a jack-in-the-box quarterback right now. We don't know what could come out. We really don't. So I think at the end of the day, it would be more of a travesty for them to draft a quarterback in the first round or you know, second, third, rather than just see what they have in Kellen Mond. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to it right away, but I feel like they need to make a serious inclination. They need to make a serious effort at evaluating Kellen Mond at all levels here. And I think moving forward, he has to be at the forefront of discussion as they move forward, because, again, they could have a franchise quarterback on their roster. Like, they could have a quarterback on their roster that could bring them a Super Bowl for all they know in Kellen Mond. Seriously, like, he's a very talented kid. He's got a good arm. I would say he had one of the best arms in the draft last year, other than Trevor Lawrence, in terms of deep ball ability. And, you know, obviously there's some things to work on, but every player has things to work on, and we'll never know what we have in a guy like Kellen Mond unless we play him. If he's not good, okay, we move on. We look towards the next option. But again, the worst thing you can do is not take a former third-round pick and see what you got in him. I think that's what, at the end of the day, the Vikings need to do a serious job of evaluating. Put him with the ones behind that number 1 offensive line. If they get that finally figured out, that right guard spot and center potentially, I think if you can get them a good offensive line, you can really see what this young man can do with that rocket of an arm, and also those, and he can run too. Let's not mistake that as well. And plus, with all those weapons on offense, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Tyler Conklin, if he comes back, Irv Smith Jr. So I think the Vikings need to do some serious homework before they invest in any quarterbacks of the future. They might have one on the roster right now in Kellen Mond. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. You'll also find our link to our iTunes, so make sure you guys give us a listen and sub there. And if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesports sportsbp@yahoo.com, or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. Let us know what you guys think about Kellen Mond deserving a shot with the Minnesota Vikings.